If there are any comics that make a living in Miami, they're not in Miami.
This is the relationship of my life. I'm married to comedy.
It's not that comedy is just all that I have, but it's just all that I want. Once it's your turn to walk out of that darkness into that spotlight, it's like game on.
Rudy Wilson!
My name is Rudy Wilson. I am a comedian.
I'm Sebastian Mattar, stand-up comedian.
My name is Manny Garavito, and I'm a stand-up comedian in Miami.
Are you ready?
Respect the life. The minute you run it, that's your reputation.
The girl babies learn to speak before boy babies. Because I'll be on the playground, my daughter's speaking complete sentences, and the boys are walking around like, bumping their heads on the swing and shit. My daughter's like, Father, this child is peculiar. Can we go home now, Daddy? I want to watch Bubble Guppies.
If there are any comics that make a living in Miami, they're not in Miami. There's no comic that I know that's making a living doing stand-up comedy in this city.
Count girls, everybody, one more time, bro. I'm here.
There's not enough comedy clubs, there's not enough rooms, there's not enough theaters, there's not enough shows. These guys gotta go way out of their way to do a comedy show in an area that doesn't even have an industry for comedy yet.
If you go to New York for comedy and come back wanting to still do comedy, like, that's a good sign. And I left in New York, and I came back, and I was like, I can't wait to go back again.
My relationship with Miami it's very special because I had the opportunity to move and come back. I was already like, a Miami kid, but I didn't realize it till I moved. And then you get taken outside of the norm, and I'm a Marlins fan. I'm a Dolphins fan. This is my city. I represent it no matter what. So I loved, 305 till I died.
And then when I sat down, I talked to Manny how I went to New York and all this. He's like, yo, stick to Miami. Like, I'm building this up. Like, this is like new land. The next 5-10 years here, the scene's not gonna be the same. Tourist is the room where, like, you get hit. This is the first time I didn't know what to expect. Nobody told me anything about it. They just told me this is a room. So I go, and I ate a bag of fucking dicks.
I've dealt with a room worse than Taurus. We didn't even have a stage. It was just a microphone. You were just standing in a crowd of people who were walking around drunk, arguing with each other. Like, you just literally just walk around with a microphone. Yeah, so I went to the mall today, trying to tell jokes. People just shut the fuck up. I'm saying, like,
this is DC too, right?
Yeah, DC, yeah. This is like the harder hood of DC.
The comedy scene in Miami, it's a small one, but it's an impactful one. You have a better chance of people coming to the show as opposed to when I was in DC. A lot of open mics up there, it's just like 30 comics, and we're all just watching each other. What I've accomplished in the 6 weeks of being here, surpasses what I did for 3 years in DC.
He got a new open mic on Thursdays in Wynwood.
Renee's? What time?
7:30.
7:30 sign up or 7:30?
Sign up. What's your name?
Seabass.
Seabass? Seabass.
Yeah. Like a fish. Yeah.
D.
Sure.
What's up, guys? You guys a couple? Yeah? Usually the woman is the one that goes, yes, and it's not the guy going like, yeah.
I think when it comes to stand-up comedy, the initial dream is to bring out a lot of people and entertain them as much as you can. But for me, I knew I had to make a decision to get myself a little more responsible rather than just writing jokes and going on. And it became marketing. I don't get laughs. I give it to them. I give it to the people. Well, even if I'm not on the lineup, I don't mind. As long as I'm there enjoying the show one way or another, it's good for me.
Hey, you look like a professional guy, bro. Don't you?
Woo. Yeah. That's the second comic up or the first?
No, the first.
All right, so Oreo just finished.
It's dark, and it's just this one spotlight that's just pointed towards the stage. And you kind of know as a comedian, like, once it's your turn to walk out of that darkness into that spotlight, it's like game on.
Rudy Wilson! What's going on, Brickle? How you guys doing? Oh, I forgot nobody from Brickle. I'm sorry. What's going on, immigrants to Brickle? All of us together.
For me, it's not like comedy is make or break. Like, I have a bachelor's degree. I was in the military, so I can always go back. It's not that comedy is just all that I have, but it's just all that I want.
Are you from Washington or something? I didn't really believe it. He's from Dubai? That was like an earlier joke or something? Okay, just let me do my job.
When it comes to seeing Rudy's value, it comes to exactly that. To have him on early, because I know he's going to be a great comic in the near future, if not already. He's able to do crowd work and kind of like get everybody in on the show. And that's the kind of talent I like to see.
It's two different people. Off stage and on stage, he's two different people. Rudy on stage is like full throttle. Off stage, he's more like an observer. Funny as hell though.
This is not just, I'm hanging out with my buddies, let's do an open mic because we think it's funny. This is like, this is what you gave up all this stuff for.
I see Rudy up. Rudy's doing his thing. Crowd's eating up everything he's throwing at them. Those moments right before I go on stage, I'm thinking, are they going to laugh? Is the audience going to be with me? Am I going to be able to follow up this comedian? Am I going to make a fool out of myself? I don't want to see no comedian bomb, bro. You never want to see that, because then it's like that could fuck up the rest of the show.
Y'all have a good night. Thank you so much.
One more time for Rudy Wilson, everybody. Y'all make some fucking noise. Guys, a big fucking hand starting right now, everybody, for our good friend, Sebastian Mattar. Come on, let me hear it.
I came into comedy again thinking like, all right, ain't nobody gonna like me. They're gonna remember me like, yo, you were that guy who gave up and came back, and maybe I'm making this whole thing up. Maybe nobody's ever thought that about me, but I thought that about me. And I was like, you gotta go out there and you gotta earn it.
You ever had somebody call you broke? Not broke, broke. Oh, Seabass, you won't come out with us because you broke. Like, motherfucker. Yeah, chill, man. I'm not broke. I'm just, I'm financially aware.
As for Seabass, he's definitely getting a lot better. I've seen moments where he's absolutely crushing it, and I've seen moments where it kind of becomes a little more stale. But he's aware of that, and that's the most important thing, because that's the only way you're going to grow. I kind of get a little bit heartfelt knowing that I'm providing opportunities for somebody with so much passion, because I've never had it. I had to do a lot of open mics to even be considered for a booking.
I remember one time I rode up to McDonald's with exact change. That's how you know you're financially aware. I came with $2.14. I was like, yeah, let me get a double cheeseburger and a chicken. The guy was like $2.37. I was like, hold on, can I see a manager? What type of shit is this? You're like, oh yeah, the double cheeseburger went up for the slice of cheese. I'm like, well, take that motherfucker out.
Comics in general, we probably can recognize growth before an audience can. There's an art to it. There's timing that we pay attention to. It's a lot of different things. One thing I always give Sebastian credit for is that he's very comfortable on stage. Like, he never seems awkward, regardless of how his set may be going.
Being financially aware, you're raised different, It fucks with your dating life, right? Because you got to make decisions based off your finances. Like, if you go out with a girl, she got Victoria's Secret on, you're like, those are $60 bras, okay? You expensive. This ain't gonna work. But if I see your shit and you got one of them graphic tees, I'm like, oh shit, Old Navy. I got one too. Hey, thank you guys so much. I'm Sebastian Mattar. Y'all all that.
One of the comedians that I think shares my circumstances will probably be Manny, because I know Manny's sacrificing a lot to make this thing happen.
The best opportunities, like a Manny can give, is giving comedians stage time. Like, Manny has put himself in a position where he can set up shows, bring out an audience. He can give a comic an opportunity to take full advantage of this show that he has put on.
Up next, guys, we got a special treat, man. This guy is the man that made this night possible, bro. He's the face of Miami comedy. He put
got you guys the RSVP. You know him already, man. We all love him to death. Everybody, a big hand for our favorite Manny Garavito!
The first time I ever did stand-up comedy, I blacked out as soon as I stepped foot on stage. And I was so drunk that I remember looking down and I saw my dad's face and I saw all my friends there, and I wobbled up to the mic stand, and when I pulled the mic out, it was a little wedged in, and so with that force, I slapped my mouth with it, and that thud echoed across the auditorium with 300 people there.
The question I ask myself very often, like, am I moving? Am I gonna leave this city? And most of the times, why are you answering for me? I hate this girl.
I've never felt that feeling in my entire life, but that was sheer humiliation. Now, a stand-up comedian, usually when they do an open mic at a comedy club, they give you 5 minutes. This particular place let me go on for 7 because I think I was doing so bad that it was entertaining for some people. And then eventually the DJ played, I think it was Hit the Road Jack or something like that. And then I got called up all my friends the next morning. They were all like, yeah, man, why'd you do that? Why are you doing stand-up comedy? That was awful.
What's your name? Oh, now you're gonna say it all up, like whispering. Thank you for fucking up my punchline, Lillian. You cunt.
And 9 years later, here I am, still doing it.
I'm just kidding, Lillian. Thanks for coming.
That Redbar show was like a good 3 to 5 minutes of me just eating my balls, and I ended up being Instagram friends with the girl.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it's like it never happened. We like each other's stuff.
Like, kind of like, girls, you gotta give us a shot when it comes. Like, Lillian, how tall are you? Would you ever date a shorter guy? Why? Because what? 5'6"? Well, what if the guy's 5'6" as well? With good dick? Good dick. And, well, you'll take it? I'm down. You see, you fucked up, Lillian. That's why you don't have a boyfriend. I mean, why are you here alone anyway? Why are you here alone? Your boyfriend's working and you're saying you're gonna get good dick. You girls are fucked up in Miami, man. You got awful people in Miami. You know that's being documented, right? Like, show her face, so this could be like a documentary on Miami comedy / an episode of Cheaters right here. Were you at this show telling this comedian you wanted some of his sweet comedy dick? Yes. We'll be back on another episode. I think romance is dead, guys. Exhibit A. Alright, I went well over my time because I had to fucking do it, okay? Don't fucking boss me off my own show. So big round of applause for yourselves. Thank you all for supporting live comedy. We did it! See you guys next time. Thank you.
As soon as I saw the crowd when I went up, I got chills. Like, I missed them. Redbar was like that thing that solidified it, like, oh shit, this is home court right here. I never knew what not performing in front of your home court was. And I went to New York and I saw it, and when I came back and I went to Redbar, it just clicked right away. It was like, wow. There's a big sign when you walk in that says you're exactly where you need to be. It's very cheesy, but it's very true, because if you think about it, you're like, you are exactly where you need to be, you know? When I'm there, it's when I'm doing comedy.